Hello, it's me, Breezer Gaming. How are you doing? I need to get this game out of full screen mode. Hold on. There. There, I say. I'm very prepared. Hey Leofar, hey Neo. How you doing? Ah, here we go. No, that's not it. Hold on. Well, here I am at least. Hope you're all having a good day. I've had a good day, it's been very busy. Just trying to figure out how I can actually have the game open and then interact with stuff. I guess I'm just going to have to Windows key out. Okay, here we are. We're back. We are going back to the Dyson Sphere Program today, which I played in the past quite a bit. Not on stream, off stream. It's a very pretty game. I need to move some of this stuff. Hold on. No, I think this will look better once I'm actually in the game. But yeah, let's dive in. I'll move this over here for now. Yeah, something's not quite right. There we go, that'll do. Yeah, Dyson Sphere Program. It's very fun. It's a sort of factory building game. A bit like Factorio, except you're in a giant mech and you're flying around the galaxy, building on different planets, and eventually trying to harvest the power of stars. And it's very good. I've been really impressed by it. Like, even when it first came out, the features it had as an early access game were exceptional. And they keep adding more and more stuff to it. And every time they update it, it just makes me think, wow, I want to play this all over again. Unfortunately, I do not have that much time. But we are going to have a go at it. Have a go at it on a new run. So let's see. I'm not sure exactly what I want my game system to be like. So you always start in a G-type star on a Mediterranean planet. But the rest of the cluster around you can vary quite a lot. And the different stars will have different planets on it that you can harvest for resources. There's a few red giants, which obviously produce a lot of solar energy, but the planets around them are very hot. And then you have the yellow stars, which are less hot, and you have habitable planets around them. So you can go there and collect resources like oil and certain kinds of organic crystals and things. And then the blue planets have like lots of blue stars have lots of planets sort of orbiting out at very far distances, but most of them won't be habitable because there's too much radiation from the star. And then there's stuff like neutron stars, white dwarfs. There's a black hole as well. So what I want to do is I want to find a seed where, let's see, yeah, click the random button. I want to find a seed where there's some nice habitable planets far away from our starting planet. Because the amount of resources on each planet increases with distance from your starting planet. So I'm just going to have a look. The lines between them don't really matter that much. It just gives you an indication of which ones are closer to others. In terms of when you're in your mech and you're jumping between them. This is quite interesting. Like this little cluster over here with some habitable planets. Some less habitable planets. You've got the neutron star over there. Black hole's all the way over here, though. Let's have a look. All very close together. I'm going to spend ages rolling a seed, don't worry. This one's quite interesting. You've got the red giant here, and then you've got the black hole right next to it. I do want to do some stuff involving the red giant, because there's an achievement I haven't got in this game for building a Dyson sphere around a red giant. So, yeah. Lots of stars around it. Neutron stars over there. I want to see where the neutron star and the black hole are close together. So when I keep pressing the random button, it keeps trying to move the map for me, and I was like, no, stop it. I don't want you to move the map. It looks a bit like a fish. Like with the tail and then like the little eye. Oh, who am I kidding? Everything looks like a fish to me. Go for a couple more. This one's got the neutron star right next to the black hole, but then they're both really far from everything. I'm not really sure about that. This one they're connected, but most of the stars are close to our starting system, which is not what I want. Let's have a think. You find this very satisfying. I mean, here we've got one where you've got them really far out, but there's no habitable planets nearby, so if we're trying to set up a big base there, that's probably not ideal. You know, I'm going to stop rolling in a minute. Probably not going to find exactly what I'm looking for, just looking randomly. Yeah, some of them are really spread out. I like the music in this game a lot as well, and they've kept adding good music to the game, which is another thing that I've really enjoyed. Hey, silly device, how you doing? We are going to have a look at Dyson Sphere Program, because I played this game before. I did try a stream, and it didn't go very well because the computer wasn't really doing very well, but I've made some changes since then, so I'm hoping it's going to run better. Now, at the moment, I'm just looking at all the random seeds we can get with the clusters. You can see most of the G-type stars seem to spawn near the middle. It's quite rare where you get a G-type star that's away from the middle, where it's going to generate a lot of resources. Okay, this looks pretty good. So the black hole isn't here. We've got two white dwarfs. We've got a neutron star. They're all their own. I think so long as we have one of either the black hole or the neutron star, it should be good. You've got all these G-types here, so there should be a good oil planet somewhere. Yeah, we're just going to go with this one. And the black hole is actually right near us, so that could be interesting. So pick the seed. You can change the number of stars, so you can have a smaller cluster or a larger cluster. We're going to have the larger cluster. Resource multiplier. That affects how many resources the planet has for you to mine up. So if you set it to minimal, then you're going to run out of stuff really quickly, and you have to keep hopping between planets. Or you can set it all the way to infinite, so that you just infinitely mine off of one planet and not worry about it. Eventually, if you get enough tech, you can infinitely mine off any planet, but it takes a while to get to that stage. But yeah, this game's basically like Factorio, except you're in a mech and you're running around spherical planets in 3D, and you're flying between them in star systems. We have metadata. So from our previous runs, the science we produced has given us metadata. If we want, we can use this to instantly unlock certain techs, but I'm not going to do that because I want to have a normal run on the stream. You missed last Oni stream, so I watched the VOD. Yeah, I noticed because that had like a really high average view duration, and it had like 9 views, so I knew someone watched it all the way through. Yeah, I think we'll just do this one, and you get the seed number up here. So yeah, let's just press start. Let's go. So here we are in our little ship. Have I got the narrator on? I think I might have turned the narrator off. There is a narrator in this game that talks about things, but they do interject quite a bit, so I've turned them off. But They do talk about things and they help explain things. Yeah, here's our star. I'm gonna do a little flyby in our little spaceship. And then you can see that gas giant. That's where we're gonna set up our base. Or, well, not on the gas giant, but there's a planet orbiting it. The star is called Rana Secunda. It's an interesting name. Got a nice purple gas giant. So yeah, there's our planet. Looking very pretty. They've actually updated the graphics since I played this. It didn't look as pretty last time. They've added clouds. Yeah, so here we are. We can technically fly around, but we obviously want to land on the planet, so I'm just going to let it do its thing. Yeah, this game's very pretty. Yeah, here's our little ship, our little landing pod. Here's the planet. So where are we going to land? We're going to land near a load of iron and copper, hopefully. I mean, this planet just doesn't have a lot of resources on it, but it has a little bit of everything. So it's a good place to start off. Wow, this is pretty interesting with the graphics, with the clouds. I've not played this with clouds before. Very cool. Yeah, here we are. We're a little mech. Come out of the ship. We're like a little transformer. We look a bit like Bumblebee. The mech's name is technically Icarus. Yeah, let's just start mining some ore. And then we'll just grab the first tech. Start automating our mining. You know, it's very helpful. Get like 20 iron ore. There we go. My internet is not doing super great at the moment, but the game seems to be fine. So you can actually dismantle this and get some resources as well. There is an achievement for doing a run without dismantling this. I think I already have that achievement, but we're going to leave it there anyways. We don't need it. Yeah, let's make some of these, what are they? Magnetic coils. So we'll make 10 of these. So you calculate, you get the little recipe here. You can assemble stuff yourself, but obviously it's much faster to make it in bulk with a big factory. So we're just going to make 5 lots of this, and then that'll be enough to do the first tech. And in the meantime, we're going to go collect some trees, because we need some fuel to actually power the mech. We'll just collect all of these. If you build stuff over the trees, it deletes them, but you don't get the resources. And it's not like you're going to be running off logs and plant fuel for very long, but it does help at the start. So now I've made the little magnetic coils, doing the research. There we go. Now we can make wind turbines, little power extender things, and we can make the mining machine. So let's start actually just mining this. Let's put the fuel in here. So I actually got some organic crystals from cutting down those trees as well. These will be very useful later. Not obviously we're not making them in bulk, but it is handy. So we've got the mining machine. It collects all the minerals in like a radius, and you want to line it up so it hovers over as many nodes as possible. So that's going to capture all 6 of these copper nodes. So that's good. And then I want to power it. What I like to do with my wind turbines is I like to put them in a sort of triagonal grid. If I space them out with the grid lines near the equator, then it usually means I can fit stuff between the turbines and there's enough power range to cover everything without the Tesla towers. So where is the equator first? This bold line here. Because the way this game divides up the spheres is you have bands of square sizes, and the equatorial band is by far the largest. And then they get smaller and smaller as you go to the poles. So building up the poles is kind of difficult. You generally want to build stuff in the equator if you can. So what I'm going to do is... So that's the center. I'm going to move it an interval of 2 out from the center, I think. Yeah, so I'll put 1 here. I'll start powering this, but we want to make more of these wind turbines. Because this is currently not running at full power. And obviously we need more wind turbines for our own reasons. So let's grab some iron. Make another mining machine. We can already make one, that's good. Well, while we're making that, we'll just grab some trees. You didn't like its graphics at first? Yeah, I mean, they have gotten better. I've always liked the art style of this game, to be honest. I think it's very pretty. I'm not really used to playing 3D games that much anymore. I guess Overwatch is the main 3D game I play. We've made one. Good. This game does start off a little slowly while you're gathering all of the stuff and you're upgrading your mech, but the longer you play it, the faster you get at doing everything. Yeah, we'll just put this here. That seems good. Then we need to make another wind turbine. We need some more iron for. This isn't powered yet. So you can build thermal power plants, so you can put coal and plant fuel and stuff into power buildings, but there's not really any major need because you can generate a lot of power through wind turbines. The main problem with the wind turbines is you have to space them out, and it can be challenging to find space for enough to run everything off of. Also, we'll grab some stone while we're here. Close these little notifications. I do like how the clouds look. Hey Neosa, how you doing? I'm alright. Yeah, this is Dyson Sphere Program. It's like Factorio, but in 3D, and you're flying between planets. Although we're not going to be flying between planets today. It's technically possible, but we're just going to start off with the basics today. Yeah, I like this game a lot. So let's go and hook this up to some power. I did actually think about this a little bit. Yeah, so put a wind turbine there. Oh, it's not quite in range. Let's put a Tesla tower here. We start with a Tesla tower anyways. That's fine. So now these things, if I turn on the power overlay, they're not actually connected. I do want to connect them. But now we've got these things mining the iron ore for us. And the copper. So now we can make more of these wind turbines. So let's do that. We'll make them one at a time just so we can start placing them. Put more of this fuel in here. You do want to mine up the little stone blocks at the start because they'll contain silicon and titanium ore, which is not something you can normally get on this planet when you start. And it's used for stuff later on. So it's good having a little bit of it just at the very beginning, just to get through the first lots of research. So we'll just queue all these up. There you go. Similar to what I was playing last night on Terraria, but you fly between planets. Yeah, I still haven't bought Terraria. I think, to be honest, like when I was younger, I was very much into Minecraft. When did Terraria come out? Was that around the same time? Because I still have Minecraft, and my work colleagues play that a little bit. They have a server that they do stuff on, but I always get disheartened when I go on there, because it's like I only go on there occasionally because I'm busy with other stuff, and when I come back, they've already built all these huge things, and I just feel like I'm not really doing anything. Right, there we go. So now these are all connected, and we're going to make them in this sort of alternating pattern. I can collect these. Make some more. Right, now let's get some more research. So let's get conveyor belts and storage, so we can actually start storing things. You know what? Let's just build one wind turbine. Terraria was 2011. Really? That makes me feel really old now. There we go. So now that's not quite enough power for all of these. No, it's not. No, that flashing thing means it's just a low resource node. There's not many resources here, which is fine. We'll find bigger nodes later. But yeah, they're all running at full power now, otherwise this would be flashing yellow. So let's make gears. And we'll just make 10 of those. And then we'll make 5 circuit boards. Seems good. And then we can actually start belting and storing some of this stuff. Yeah, we've got a lot of stone over here. We've got a lot of coal. Hopefully we can find some big iron nodes. Yeah, your mech starts off quite slow, but you can upgrade the mech walking speed quite quickly. And unlock flight and all that stuff. So, yeah, I guess we'll keep grabbing stuff over here while waiting for this. You can speedrun this game quite quickly if you know exactly what you're doing and you have like all these blueprints made in advance. I did see someone beat the entire game in under 10 hours. There is actually an achievement for that. But yeah, I mean, there is an end in that you can get all the way to the end of the tech tree and research mission complete after you built a Dyson Sphere and you've harvested antimatter from it. But the game doesn't end. You can still continue conquering the galaxy. And they are adding more stuff. They're adding a whole combat system. And what they're going to do is they're going to have like an enemy sort of machine intelligence faction that will expand out in parallel to you. And the larger you get, the more of a threat they'll see you as, and they'll start attacking you as you become bigger. So they won't interrupt you at the beginning. But once you start going between star systems and things, they'll start like pestering you, and you'll build like automated defenses to fight them off, like in Factorio with the biters and the guns and everything. Right. So what do we get? We got the belts. Yeah. So let's make some belts. Let's make some storages. But these require a bit of stone, so we'll just make 2 of those will do for now. Belts can come out here. You know what? Where am I going to put these? I'm just going to run them along here. Yeah, so we can put storage here. And then we'll put a sorter here. And that will take stuff off the belt and put it in here. And I'll use 2 sorters to do that. Because the sorters grab stuff from an adjacent belt at 90 per minute. So 1.5 per second. And then the belt will move at 180 per second. Or rather, we've got the mining machine at about 180 per second. So this is the right amount of sorters for this amount of mining machines. And this amount of belts. So that's the sort of thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to arrange the machines in a way that they're all working together to produce like an efficient output. So yeah, I think we'll just leave that like this for now. And then that can go in here. So now we're going to store up a lot of copper and iron. And I'm only going to set this to 500 because we're probably not going to need more than 500 at a time. And I don't want to overmine these as well because we're going to need this for other stuff. 3.3 meter long belts. Right, what's next? Let's go. Yeah, we can grab upgrades. I'm not going to focus on the upgrades yet. We could do this. Actually, no. Let's get all the buildings first. Let's get the smelting, so we can start smelting the plates automatically. So we'll make 10 more of these. Or 5 more batches, because they come 2 per batch, so we only need 10, so let's just make 5. And then same for circuit boards. Yeah, that's all going to fill up. We can collect this in the meantime. Probably not the most efficient walking route, but whatever. But yeah, I did beat the game once earlier on in its development cycle. And that took me somewhere in the region of about 80 hours, I think. I don't know how many hours I put into this on Steam. I think it's somewhere in the region of 300. So I'm familiar with the basics of the game, but like there's stuff that could be improved. And it's not like Oni where it's difficult to get off the ground. Like you're not really going to lose right off the bat unless you set it to the hardest, like the minimal resources mode, and you just run out of resources on your home planet. But it's just very relaxing, and if you know how to optimize it, you can do stuff really quickly. But we're just gonna relax and have fun. There we go, tree. So we're burning through all these logs and leaves at a fairly decent rate. You know, robot powered by logs and leaves. Makes sense. So now I've got some smelters. So what I can do with these is, first of all, make some more belts. Grab this iron. Let's grab this copper. We'll just make a load more belts. And then we can start setting up some smelters. In the meantime, what other researches do I want? Assembly machine? I don't need that quite yet. Yeah, that'll do. We'll just make those things for now. Get rid of all these things here. We'll go over here and grab more stone. So you will hover over the water. Not very quickly. Yeah, now I can build a smelter. But yeah, the kind of plot of the game is that you're from a human faction. Like, all the humans are living in some kind of Matryoshka brain. So they're all living like virtual lives, and like you're one of the few people who's in real life sending out the mechs and things to go and collect more energy for the mother brain. So everyone's just sat at home in their virtual realities, and we're out here actually eventually collecting the energy for them. I wonder if it rains. I doubt it would rain. Some of the clouds look quite dark. Anyways, there's some big lumps of iron, so that's pretty nice. Right, let's see. So belt goes here. Then I'll build stuff along here. So we can put 3 of these down like this. You have these little drones that fly out of you and build stuff as well. And then we'll select the iron plates. So these plates are made up 1 per second from 1 iron ore. So 1 sorter each for these will be fine. Let's make some more sorters. We'll get a lot faster once we actually can manufacture the basic components without having to make them ourselves every time. Yeah, put that in here. And then we'll get another belt, bring it over here. And we'll put a storage here. So now this machine is making the iron plates for us. Spinning around, smelting them. I've got some more sorters, so those can go here. There we go. Now the iron plates come out. And then this is consuming too much power now, so we need to make some more wind turbines. But then, because we've got 3 smelters, each producing 1 a second, it'll produce 3 per second total, which is the same as the mining rate. So now we'll hook up the sorters here. And then that'll fill this at the same rate that the iron ore is being consumed. So there we go. Now I can make iron plates. That should help. Right, let's make some more wind turbines. Otherwise, this is all going to start slowing down. And then we'll do one for copper as well. I've just realized something. What I should actually be doing with these wind turbines is I should be putting them... No, I just shouldn't have put this here, because I want to put the wind turbines in this area. Hold on, we'll just remove everything. Don't mind me. Because what I want to do is I want to build the wind turbines here, and then I want to build all the smelters and stuff through the middle of them. That was the aim. Yeah, so make that. And then we'll try again. So now we'll bring this here. And then Yeah, do that like that. And plates, there we go. Ooh. And then set that back down to 5. There we go. And now we can surround this with wind turbines, and then everything gets powered properly because it's all within the blue sort of radius. And then we'll do the same with the copper, except we'll take it like this. Need to make some more smelters. Let's keep grabbing more stone in the meantime. We out of fuel? No, we're not out of fuel yet. That's good. We'll want to hook up more efficient fuel sources sooner rather than later, so that we can recharge faster, so that we can get more mech power, and then we can walk faster, use upgrades, that sort of thing. Yeah, may as well grab all of these. Yeah, there's little drones following us about. Right, there we go. We made some smelters now. Good. So there is a setting as well that you can use to make your view independent of the robot, but I like to have it follow the robot usually. You can only build stuff when you're near the robot anyways, so it feels like it makes sense to me. Right, and then that can go there. We'll need more wind turbines. They have added a few more songs since I last played this on the stream, I think, as well. Which is good, because this game is... Yeah, the more music this game has, the less repetitive it becomes. Then we'll just stick that up here. One more of these. There we go. Need one more over there as well. Oh no, we don't need a smelter. We need a storage, which we... Yeah, once we start mass producing the basic resources, then we can use the fry away. Also, forgot to plug in the sorters here, so this isn't working at all. Nice. Let's do that. Make another one of these. Then we need more sorters. Actually going to start nicking copper plates from these. And then iron plates. Yeah, we'll grab those. Okay. And then we can build that like that. So you don't have to build your wind turbines like this. You can use Tesla towers to power everything instead, like we've got a Tesla tower here. But there are another thing you need to make, and usually when you're starting off, you don't need to make like a huge factory where it needs all of the space near the machines. So you can space everything out a little bit like this. I think that's like my one tip for starting this game. Like, don't worry too much about spacing things out if you need to. Okay. There we go. Alright, so now we've got iron plates and copper plates. Very good. So now let's actually do the research on the mech. Most techs require science instead of raw resources, but the first ones require raw resources. And this is the tech for the science. We'll want to make assembly machines as well. So let's make 10 of these, 10 of these. It's all good. And then I'll just queue up loads of wind turbines, because we're going to need these. Then let's go hunt some trees in the meantime. actually. These stones, these little stones here you can collect as well. Yeah, that's fine. We'll remember to collect some trees. So now we've increased the maximum energy our mech can store from the fuel. As fuel energy. Which is helpful, but it's not exactly going to speed us up. It's just going to help us protect against refueling.
Thanks for the follow.
Oh wait, I need to actually make the gears. Thanks very much for the follow. I appreciate the company. I'm excited to be playing this game on stream again because it's been absolutely ages. And I don't see people play a lot on Twitch at the moment, which is a shame because it's like a really good game, and even though it's early access, it feels very complete in sort of the features that are available, the gameplay loop, and then they keep adding more and more stuff to it all the time. There we go, we got assembly machines. You love this game, yeah. That's good. I love it a lot too. This is the first sort of factory building game I actually bought. Like, or I don't think I have any of the others. Because I've seen people playing Satisfactory and I've seen people playing Factorio. I probably will pick up Factorio at some point. But I bought this first. Right, so we're refueling off of that. Now we need to actually start making the blue cubes. So let's unlock the tech for blue cubes. Science in this game forms the shape of a cube. We'll make some wind turbines in the meantime, and we'll just lay out a few more of these. So blue science is made from circuit boards and magnetic coils. And that's it. So we'll just need to set up some basic factories for that, and then we can start mass producing that. Also, we may as well build some wind turbines up here because we're going to start mining the stone. Maybe I'll do that first. Yeah, I'll make a few mining machines. Yeah, it's about 7:30 for me at the moment. I usually stream between 7:30 and 10:30 GMT, but we started a bit early today because I work from home. You can pause that for now. It's fine. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute. Hope you enjoy the game, and I'll watch the VOD after I wake up. Yeah, fair enough. I'll tell you what. If you want to watch it, I'm gonna post it on YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel where I upload everything, and there will be all the VODs on there. Because I know Twitch gets rid of your VODs after about 2 weeks, so I put everything on there. And there's a few other videos on there. Not much Dyson Sphere Program content, but that's gonna change. So it's gonna grab 240 stone. I'll bring this up here, and I'll bring it this way. Looks like we need to make some more smelters. Yeah, because we need stone for a lot of these buildings, so it'll help us mass produce those faster. We have it. And then what else do I want to do? I will want to set up some mining machines over here. Let's go quickly do that. So let's see. How much of this can we grab at once? There's an achievement for grabbing 12 veins at once, and I haven't seen a formation where you're able to do it yet. Like, I usually aim for about 6. So you know what? I don't want to miss out on them either. You have to do a little bit of pixel hunting. Maybe we'll come at it from here. There we go, that'll do. And we'll hook that up with some wind turbines. Because we don't want to rely on wood power forever. Okay, let's make some more of these in the meantime. So We've got 8 veins hooked up here, so I could actually make 4 lots of stone. And yeah, these belts can handle that much. So yeah, we'll make 4. Why not? Oh, I need more belts. Right, okay. Let's make those. Yeah, I'm slowly getting used to all the hotkeys. The hotkeys in this game are quite good. I found them quite easy to sort of learn, and I'm not really a hotkeys sort of person. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Make some more of these. And then I'll just build another mining machine. Ah, this is awkward. Let's actually rearrange this slightly. What I'll do is... I might as well do this sooner rather than later. Can I squeeze this in here? Yeah, I can. And then I can put another one here. So this is what you're trying to... This is what you can do. You can actually put 2 of these machines right next to each other and overlap their arms if the nodes allow it. So this lets you squeeze in a lot more mining machines to the nodes. We'll need some more belts again. That's fine. So basically the difference with this and Factorials are traveling between planets. Yeah, basically. I think that grab stones could use shift to roll it. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I've been doing that. Also, I need to make more of these. So, I'll make a couple more of those. Then we've got more belts here. I'm not going to set up huge infrastructure on these nodes just because they're so small. This is a pretty large stone node, so we can make something a bit meatier here. And we can extend the turbines. I need to actually... I'm going to keep these one at a time, so I can access them one at a time. Also, I need to go grab more iron plates. Oh, yeah. You can move these. You can move these really finely with the shift tool. Yes, that is a thing you can do. There's a lot of nice quality of life features they've added to this game. Like, oh, I made a bit too much copper. That's fine. Hold on. There you go. So now I've got loads of copper. Let's do this. You can do it with the wind turbines as well, but I usually find that the interval it spreads it out with isn't that convenient, so I like to place them one at a time usually. Right, we don't need this going here. Ah, now we've filled this up with too much stuff. We dropped some coils. That's fine. There we go. Let's just make a load of these as well. Yes. Yeah, you can hold down, you can press R to rotate it, and you can hold down Shift and R to rotate it. So you can get pretty much whatever you want. Absolutely. We just want everything to be 90 degrees. I don't know, I'll see how I feel. I like doing it 90 degrees if I can, but I mean, there's no real need to. There you go. Now I've got stone being produced. That's good. I'm actually just going to take the... I'm going to take our copper and I'm going to feed into these things. We don't need the raw copper anymore. And in fact, yeah, you can put the rest of that in there. And then the iron, similarly, that can go in here. Although we'll probably make some magnets in a minute, so we'll keep that there. Also, let me actually pick up this thing now we've made space. There we go. So I've got stone production. And then what I could do after this is once we finish producing the stone, we can have it hook up to some more smelters and produce glass. So... let's see. Yeah, that takes 2 stone and 2 seconds to produce 1 glass. So each thing will basically output 30 glass. Yeah, let's make some more smelters. And actually take some stone so we can stop having to make the the stone bricks every time. There we go. Where's the music gone? Come back. Come back. Where has the music gone? I haven't had that. There we go. Now it's back. That one requires a foundation because it's a little water puddle. Well, whatever. We'll just skip that one for now. But we need to make some more belts. And I'm probably doing this a little bit earlier than I need to, but I just felt like building a big conveyor line of something. And we'll use all these materials later. So I'm going to come up here and connect to the coal. There we go. So now that's going to grab some coal. We'll send this here. And for now, we'll just put a little bin here. But eventually, we'll want to use the coal for something else. So that can go like... we'll do like that. And now what we'll do is we'll use the coal for fuel instead of the plant fuel. Because the plant fuel generates 30% less energy when it's in your fuel chamber, whereas the coal has no penalty, and the energy density is a lot higher, so it means you can store more energy in your fuel chamber. So it both generates slightly faster, and it has more energy in it total. But we'll get through the plant fuel. DSP tools, what is this? Okay, so that's a website that lets you plan out production workflows. Like if you're trying to make a certain quantity of a very specific item with like complicated recipes, that'll let you sort of flowchart it out. The website is for Factorio, but it also works with Dyson Sphere Program and Satisfactory. It works for all 3 games. So it is very handy. Right, so now we have coal. And I'm going to remove this for now because it's annoying me. So yeah, we were going to make the blue science. Let's research that. Get that done. Make some more of these as well. I do want to actually make some production for magnets. That would be a good idea. We'll need to do that for the blue science. So this is where I would put one. But I'm going to put one here instead. And then this will be enough smelters to produce 180 glass per minute. There we go. Hey, Gravy Crunch, how are you doing? I think the best thing they added is auto-raising of intersecting belts. Yes, they've added a lot of quality of life to belt features. like upgrading belts, changing directions. Actually, have I even done the changing direction thing yet? I don't think I have. I think there's a few things I haven't probably done in this game yet because I haven't played it in a while, and they've added a lot of features. Right, what's going on with this? Oh, I've done something silly. Look, I've hooked up the stone plates here instead of the stone ore, so you do not make glass sheets with stone plates. Make it with the stone ore. So that can just go like this. There we go. I was wondering why it wasn't doing anything. So we've unlocked the blue science. So now we'll actually just want to make a factory to start making all the stuff for the science. Yeah, there we go. Then this can go here. This can go here, and then we'll put a little storage bin here. We'll do the same thing with this. Although, actually, we won't need to go all that way, because we're only going to need 2 sorters for this. Yeah, there we go. And then that can go down to 5. Yeah, that's already at 5, so that's good. So now I've got glass as well. And the matrix labs that you use to make all the science stuff do take glass, so that's probably quite handy. And what I'll do is I'll do something similar over here. And I'll take... Let's see. Make more wind turbines over here. What I'll do is I'll take this belt up here. Actually, no, instead of doing that, what I'll do is... I'll put another mining machine on here, and we'll set that up to mine iron for the magnets independently. Let's keep making more wind turbines. Because we need magnets for the wind turbines, and you make those from the iron ore directly. You don't make them from iron plates, so... You do want a separate magnets line. And we'll put that here. There we go. So that can just come out here, and I guess we'll go like this. I need to make a few of these as well. It's fine. Is that the Icarus landing pod? I've never seen someone leave it before and not break it down. So there is... I think I already had this achievement, but there is actually an achievement for completing the game without dismantling the landing pod. So I tend not to do it. You don't need to. I mean, it has a few hydrogen fuel cells in it, which are nice, but you don't need to by any means. Let's see, where's the achievement? Yeah, here we go. I have already got this one, so I don't need to do this. We can dismantle it, but I'm going to leave it up there as like a monument. Don't dismantle the landing capsule before completing the game. So, that's a pretty easy one to get, but you just have to remember not to dismantle it at the start. I have quite a few of the achievements in this game, but not the really hard ones. Also, we'll need to make a few more of these. That's fine. So, yeah, the magnets produce every 1.5 seconds, so each smelter will produce 40 a minute. So if you're trying to make 180 per minute, you need 5 smelters, and that'll produce a little bit more than you need. But this is only set to grab 6 veins, so it'll only ever grab 180 per minute anyways, at the moment. So let's make some more of these as well. Let's start hooking all of this up. Make some more belts. It does take a little while to get off the ground, but once you get off the ground, you can really make factories really quickly. But the start is a bit slow, but I don't mind it because it's relaxing and it helps me actually remember what I'm doing in this game if I haven't played it in ages. Yeah, magnets. Yeah, so now we're making some belts. That can come over here. Another storage for that. And then that can go like this. And now we just need another wind turbine. Slowly getting there. I might even make a dedicated wind turbine factory at some point, because we're going to be filling this whole planet with them. As much as we can grab. But yeah, I'm quite impressed in that the clouds don't get in the way of what you're doing. Because I was kind of worried about that. But no, they kept it very clutter-free. Now I've got magnets. So what we can do is... So we've been making these coils. They take 2 magnets and 1 copper, and they produce 2 coils. I think it's probably time I actually show off this website and what it does. So let me open it up. Let me just close all my other tabs. Give me a sec. We are here. So, welcome to Factorio Lab. We're going to play Dyson Sphere Program. Add a product. Pick the blue cubes. We'll make 180 per minute. And then we'll set the flow chart. What? Error? No! God damn it. Why does it give me errors? Here we go. This is my favorite website for it because it really lays it out in quite a neat way. So yeah, and we can drag stuff around as well. So we need 180 copper ore per minute, 360 iron ore per minute. So that's what we've done. So then all the magnets and half of the copper go into the magnetic coils, and then the other half of the copper and the iron ingots go into the circuit. Okay. So let's do that. So we're going to need to make some more belts. Take all this copper, that can go... we'll send that down here. So half of it's going to go with the iron ingots. And we'll need to make assembly machines for this. We'll put those here. No, not that one. We want the circuit boards. So the recipe says it produces 2 circuit boards every second, but something about the assembly machine that isn't very intuitive is that it produces at 75% the normal production rate. I don't know why they didn't just make it produce 1 times the production rate and then make everything else slightly better, but it is what it is. So instead of producing 120 circuit boards per minute, it will produce 90 per minute. So if you want to make 180 of them with 180 iron ingots, you'll need 2 of them. And then what we can do is, because it requires more iron than copper, what we'll do is we'll put the iron conveyor on the inside, and then the copper conveyor can go on the outside. So each one of these will require 90 iron ingots per minute. And we can get that with 1 sorter in the middle. And then if we put a sorter in from the outside, it's twice as far, so it'll be half as efficient. It'll do 45 trips per minute. But that's enough to run these circuit board machines. Then that can go in here. I'll make another storage bin. I could probably just make a load of these now. Yeah, there we go. So that can go here. I'm going to place that 1 tile further out. It looks kind of weird. Yes, I know I can make matrix slabs. Game is just like, you're not fast enough. There we go, circuit boards. So now I've automated this. I did the thing, I said re. I'm a re-easier gamer. Spam the re's. Right, so then we want the rest of this iron to come off of here. No, we don't. I'm very glad that you can quickly correct mistakes in this game, because I make mistakes a lot. Let's make some more wind turbines. Can I make these 10 at a time? Probably not yet, we'll try. Grab some more of these. Then bring that one there. No, what I'll do is I'll put those assembly machines up here by the magnets. We'll bring the copper over here. Left a little bit of gap. Yeah, we'll leave a bit of a gap. And then wind turbines. So this is for coils, and they take 2 magnets. So we want the magnets on the inside. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring the magnets down here. No, I'm going to bring the magnets this way. Bring the magnets that way. Bring the circuit. Bring the copper this way. This is not the world's most well-organized factory, but we've got some kind of weird space to work with anyways, so whatever. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So, middle one goes like that. Outer one goes like that. Again, we'll need 2 of these to make enough for the flow rate we want. So let's make a few more of those. Yeah, there we go. And what you can do as well is if you extend the conveyor belts out, the game will remember where you put the sorters as well, so it can line it up right away. Although we haven't built enough sorters. So that would be something nice to do. Sorters are very easy to make. You can make a factory for these as well, pretty quickly. And what I'm probably going to do eventually is just make a little conveyor belt where we just make a little bit of every building over time, and then we can just go to the conveyor belt instead of having to make them whenever we need them. Yeah, make some more conveyors. We'll make a conveyor belt factory very quickly. Because I don't want to keep manually having to make conveyor belts. So let's see. Let me go like this. We make more wind turbines. And I need more coils now, which is ironic because that's what we're trying to make. Oh, I didn't connect this conveyor belt. That would have been very handy. There you go. Have fun. So I can go there. Storage here. Then this. So now I've got coils and circuit boards being produced at the same time automatically, so that's good. Take a few of those. Now we need to bring the coils and the circuit boards together, so they can come this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bridge it over here. So you can press the up arrow key and raise it up. So I think we'll just come around this side. There should be a challenge where you have to beat the game without raising a conveyor belt up. So you have to play it all at ground level. I feel like that's definitely possible. But You'd have to actually know what you were doing, which is a bit beyond my power. Yeah, we're still filling this, so we'll let this fill up so we can come back and collect them. And then that will drop off here, and then we'll make our labs over here. Go. Grab this big old rock. Really big rocks and big trees have a higher chance for the rare resources. So if you see a really big one, I like to grab it. See, that one had some coal in it. Also, yeah, we've still got coal. That's fine. Burn through the plant fuel first, though, because I don't want to keep that in there. Yeah, this is nearly full. So we'll keep making more wind turbines. It's fine. Take a few of these as well. Iron can go in here. Magnet storage is full now, that's fine. Yes, I guess we should grab this copper as well at some point. This is where we're going to put our labs anyways, so we'll extend over to this area. That will do. Then we can put a mining machine here, just so I don't forget about it. And we'll just rotate it a little bit to get what we want. Oh, this is an awkward pattern. How irksome. It's gonna be kind of annoying to grab all of them at once and actually fit it on. I guess we'll put it there. And then that can go like this. And we'll need to make a Tesla tower, that's fine. Tesla towers are pretty cheap. So we'll grab from this copper once the other copper runs out. Right, so the Matrix Lab. So the Matrix Lab is kind of annoying in that it's bigger than the other buildings. It's kind of challenging to fit in with the wind turbines. So what I might do is I might actually remove these ones. And then we'll put some Tesla towers in. Yeah, let's set these to 10. And we'll make a few more of these. So these takes glass. We've already made a fair amount of glass, so that's fine. Let's actually grab the glass first. That would be a good idea. Now, yeah, there's actually a hotkey as well. You can use control and left mouse button to fill your inventory with the bin without having to go into the screen. So that's nice. Right, let's make a load of these. Then where are we going to put the Tesla towers? I want to put these next to each other. Yeah, make the Matrix Lab. And how do I fit the Tesla towers between them? Because you can actually stack these on top of each other as well. That is what we'll do to start with. And I think the blue ones produce 20 each per minute, so we'll want 9 to start. And then, yeah, we want to produce the matrix, so it takes them both equally. But it takes them at a relatively low rate. So what we can do is we can take the circuit boards down here. Some more conveyor belts. If I put this here, then this here, that should be good enough. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, blue signs. Then we'll bring these in here. So each of these towers is going to take 60 circuit boards and 60 of these. So what we'll actually want to do is we'll want to have 2 sorters here, because each sorter will only grab 45 at this distance. But they're not grabbing at the moment anyways. So then circuit boards go in here. And then the blue science will come out of here and go into a different matrix lab that we're going to use for the actual research. We'll need some more coils. So I get the feeling that we're mostly constrained by coils at the moment. It's fine. Then grab some more of these. Grab some more of these. I don't need all of this stone in my inventory now. I can just go into these guys. There you go. You do unlock more inventory slots as well as you upgrade your mech. Like, your inventory starts off really small, but you can hold a lot more things later on. And then you can get drones to carry stuff as well. So you do rapidly get more capacity. Then I think what I'll do is I'll actually... I mean, I want to put the labs in a spot where we have plenty of access later. Because we're going to be bringing in other science conveyor belts here. So let's see. We want to change this to research. Yeah, so eat the blue cubes. And we'll take these. This is like a big coastal area, so it's fine for belts, but not really for power. Let's just hook this up here. Then, yeah. Can I make one more? Oh, we'll just make a load more. That's fine. We'll use them later. These will be all the actual research buildings. So then we'll take this blue, take all these blue cubes, and we'll run them over here. We'll put the red conveyor belt in the middle later. Go here.
There we go.
20 should be enough. Hey Max, how you doing? Hope Oxygen Not Included is going well. We are playing Dyson Sphere Program today, which is kind of like Factorio, except it's in 3D and you're in a giant mech. And we're on 3D planets. We can fly between planets. We do not have the tech to fly between planets at the moment, but we're just about to actually build our first sort of tech factory, which should be fun. Hey Nemetrek, how you doing? I need to put some more. Really, look at this tiny little hole. I guess I'll put a Tesla tower over here. See, this sorter is covered, but this sorter isn't. What kind of logic is that? What is this Dyson Sphere nonsense? Well, we're on this Mediterranean planet to start with. And then we have the ice giant here. We have a big star here. We're going to build a big sphere around it made out of solar panels and grab all the power to run our factories with. And we're going to keep expanding out further and further into the cluster to grab all of these stars. And we're probably not going to get that far, but we're going to try. It's trying to fit a square grid on a sphere. You're going to get some weirdness. Yeah, that's very true. Like, we're building stuff near the equator generally, so it's not too bad. But yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness even here. Yeah, at the moment, we're just filling this storage container full of electromagnetic coils. And then once this is full and we have a nice stockpile for building stuff with ourselves, then they'll start going into the blue sphere factory. But yes, they've added a lot to this game since I played it. I've only played it once on stream, but they've added a lot of stuff since then. They've added clouds. I'm really impressed with how the clouds look. The reason that the copper is taking a while is because I accidentally cut off this... Oh, I see what I've done. I built the conveyor the wrong way around here. Okay, hold on. Let's remove this. We can do better. So we'll hook that up here. We're going to move this here. And then we'll shift our copper storage over here. Yeah, there we go. They look better than KSP2 clouds. Oof. Right, I guess we'll just take all of these. Wow, that's a lot of copper plates. Probably not going to need all of those. So yeah, in fact, let's just put a few of them in there. That's fine. Love this game. Can't wait for the love this game. Can't wait for the combat update. Yeah, me neither. It's going to be sick. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really glad that the devs have thought about how to put combat in a game like this and not have it be annoying. But like the way they sort of dismantle stuff, but they leave a blueprint so you can just rebuild it as soon as you have the resources, feels very very fair. And how the difficulty ramps up over time as well also seems fair. Right, so now this conveyor belt is actually going to fill up, which is good. I mean, it's not quite full because... Have we already depleted one of these copper veins? We have. That's annoying. So we don't quite have 180 copper per minute anymore. We do have some more copper over here. God, I can't... We need to upgrade our mech walking speed. That's what the blue science is for. Right, so we've got copper going over here now, so we're making these a lot quicker. This should fill up fairly soon. Let's fill up a little bit more. Looks very similar to Factorio. Yeah, gameplay-wise, it does feel very similar to Factorio, which I've never actually played Factorio, but I can tell just from watching it that that's what's going on. Also, we're out of fuel. Let's grab some trees. We do have some coal that we mined up, but that's very far away. The trees are right here. As you can tell, this game is all about environmental stewardship and living in harmony with nature to achieve your goals. There we go. Yeah, I wish they would actually add a building that lets you replant trees, and then you could actually use the trees to make organic crystals the old-fashioned way, which isn't as efficient, but you would be able to actually produce forests. So, like, I think that would be a nice feature, but I don't think that's really on the devs to do this at the moment. Yeah, grab some rocks as well. You can just build over this stuff, but it's actually quite efficient to do this at the start. I kind of wish you could make a sanctuary planet you could set up an artificial biosphere on. Yeah, because the thing is, when you're like going to the oil planets, which have all the organic life on it, and you're just tearing them down to build a giant, massive oil drilling operation, it just feels... You feel like the bad guy. Yeah, let's make some more conveyors. So what I could do is I could take all of this copper and bring it over to those smelters I made. That's going to take a lot of conveyors. I think I might actually do that, because it's a small vein that we're not going to use otherwise. So we're just going to make some big old belts. And we're going to build those in the ocean because we can. So we'll go here. We are making our first blue cubes though. See, here it is. You make the blue science with circuit boards and magnetic coils. And then you can use the blue science for research. So now we can actually start researching all the upgrades. What a relief. The game does not pause in the upgrades screen. You can tell it to pause, but we're not going to. Right. Let's see. More drones. That sounds like a good idea. Faster drones. So then we can actually start building stuff faster. The first few upgrades do require different materials. But, yeah. Let's get this giant conveyor belt built. Yes, I know we're running out of energy. Okay. Let's go grab some coal. Coal is a better fuel source than trees. It's confirmed. Yes, now at least we're unlocking more drones. The drones don't have enough power to fly over to us. Feels bad, man. Right, here we go. Coal. Because the coal lets us charge up our energy more as well. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some more efficient fuel. Like, we're going to refine this coal into graphite, and then we're going to proliferate it to make the graphite even more efficient. Because you do not want to run out of power all the time. It's not very fun. Let's keep making more conveyor belts as well. We'll grab some more iron plates. So yeah, one thing about this game is it does start out kind of slow, but if you played a run before, you can unlock tech and other things by using metadata to buy the tech instead of researching it. But we're not going to do that because we're trying to do a normal run here. I want to show what the game is normally like on your first run. So we're going to want to make this a little bit longer. Will that be alright? Yeah. There we go. What we'll do is we'll send this all the way back around here, and then we'll just feed it back onto the buildings over here. This probably isn't the fastest way to do it, but whatever. We'll let all the drones hop out and build the thing. And now we've run out of power, so we're just kind of swimming now. We're not hovering above the... we're not hovering above. Yeah, we'll let them crack on with this quickly. There's the other drone. We left it behind somewhere. Yeah, I like how this game looks a lot. It's very pretty. Oh, and I'll tell you what, actually, since you've raided me, I want to show something off. So, I often talk about how I wish Oxygen Not Included had more performance information in the game. Look at this. The game has like a real-time breakdown of exactly what is using your CPU. And it breaks it down on a planet-by-planet level, on a building-by-building level. Looks at everything else, orders it. You can do it in real time. You can get real-time data on the GPU usage as well, but that's not usually the constraint with this game. But look at this, it's amazing. Like, if every dev did this with their games, it would be a miracle. Right, so while we've been looking at that, they've made a little bit of progress. You would love a better power overlay. Yeah, I would like that too. I wish you could break down the colony summary on a planet by planet basis, because once you've got 2 planets, like, knowing how much power you're wasting in general isn't useful. Like, you want to see how much power you're using per planet, because obviously if I've got solar panels on one planet, I'm going to be overproducing from those, but it's not going to help me with the other planet. So where are the other drones? Am I really just this low on power? I really need a better fuel source. We'll research that soon. Also, actually, let's do some more techs. The techs are actually coming quickly. A lot of them require red science, though. I don't think I need a drive engine yet. We don't have enough fuel to really even get off the ground. Let's get the graphite. Yeah, let's get that. So now what I'll do is I'll take this line and build more belts, I guess. Them's the brakes. I knew there was gonna be a crunch on belts. Now drones have even less power to work with. They're trying their best. Here we go. Does actually take some power for the mech to research as well, so you'll try not to do that too much. Yeah, you can make the belts go over each other, which is very handy if you don't plan it all out in advance. Right, so now this will supplement the copper ore coming in from this mine, which is rapidly depleting. And then we should get the full throughput on this now. In the meantime, while we're over here, we can grab some more coal. Let's see. Make some more wind turbines as well. For that I need magnets. We need to put some of this copper away. I took too many copper plates. That seems fine. Right. Coal. So we have graphite, the recipe for graphite unlocked now. So let's do that before I lose my mind. Build some more wind turbines over here. And then that can just go like this. Nah, I'm gonna put it here. So to make graphite, it takes 2 coal, 2 seconds, 1 graphite. So each smelter produces 30 graphite. We're mining 180, so we'll need 3 of these and that'll produce 90 graphite. I'm going here. Put that over. I'll have the... Oh, we need to make more conveyor belts again. Soon we'll be over this initial hump. But everything takes a while. But yeah, I'm pleased. The game is running well. Computer seems to be doing all right. What I'll do is I'll put another mining machine here and we'll get 180 graphite per minute. Because I will use this a lot. There we go. Make some more of these. We need more magnetic coils for that. That's fine. They're over here. Boom. I'll just set these to 10 now. That's fine. I'll go pick that up. What I'll do is I'll just make another 3 of these after that one, and we'll hook up another lot of coal to that. Make some more sorters. And we'll just fill this with the spare coal for now. There we go. So much like Oni, coal is the start to power generation. Well, I mean, unlike Oni, we have a load of wind turbines everywhere. That's definitely not something you have much of in the asteroid wind. Yes, I need to make a gear factory as well, but we'll do that as part of the conveyor belt factory. I'm not going to make a dedicated gear factory. So let's also pick up some coal here. And I think I should be able to move this slightly to avoid the clash. I think it's clashing with the coal vein rather than the machine. Oh, we just don't have a machine. Fair enough. More wind turbines. Those can go here. Hamster wheels replace wind turbines. Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously we can't get the mech to run in a wheel to power the mech. That doesn't quite work, unfortunately. Right, so now it's colliding with objects. I want to grab that vein there. I guess we'll rotate it a little bit. Yes. To grab 6. 7 will do. We'll take 7. Ew, that looks ugly. Let's try again. So yeah, you can draw the belts out in straight lines, but you can also draw them diagonally if you really want. But I'm not that bad. So we're going to do that. Right, so now we've got graphite. So compared to coal, which has a 0% fuel generation bonus, graphite has a 50% generation bonus, and it's more energy dense as well, so it lasts for longer in your fuel chamber. So we're going to get all of the coal out of here, and the plant. And we'll put the graphite in instead. What's wrong with diagonal? Nothing really. I mean the main, if you're building a conveyor belt from somewhere random to your main base, a diagonal conveyor will save you resources. But what I tend to do is I tend to build everything quite closely clustered in here, and if I start building stuff diagonally, I'd start cutting myself off very quickly. But you can definitely do it. Right, let's actually grab some of this. Better fuel. So we're going to further improve this graphite in a little bit. But there is actually an upgrade that requires graphite. Let's see, which one is it? Yeah, this energy circuit. So this helps us generate more power in the mech more quickly. So that's one that we really want. We actually need some coal for that. We actually need some logs. So let's go harvest some trees quickly. Most of the resources do not require logs. Also, I find it funny that we're burning all this coal for power. I wish the mech had like a little smokestack for like this early part of the game where you're just running off plant fuel and coal and stuff. Looks like we'll need a few more trees. Let's grab these while we're here. What about zigzag pattern? It goes in diagonal, but it's made of 90-degree angles. Yep. Zigzag it the whole way. Let's grab a tree. This one doesn't have any leaves. There we go. So this should help our fuel issue. And then what other upgrades do we want? Drive engine, yeah. Then we can fly. That'd be nice. So we'll need some. I don't know what we need for that. We need a lot of coal and some coils. That's fine. Let me go put away some more of these copper plates. Then we'll take some of the coils. Yeah, there we go. Some a staircase of belts. I like the idea. You can actually make a triangle with 390 degrees angles on a sphere. That's very true, NPC. And I actually do that quite a lot in this game when I'm on new planets and I'm just trying to connect stuff up. Because what I often like to do, I mean, this is a bit of a spoiler, I guess, but when you unlock like the logistics towers that let you move stuff between planets, I like to put them on the poles because everything's going to be landing there anyways. And then you can belt down to whatever part of your manufacturing is on the equator. And then you can then run it along there where all the buildings are, and then you can just bring it back to the pole to ship the finished product up. And I like that. I like doing that. I'm not sure how efficient it is, but there is that principle that you're talking about. Let's grab some more coal. And then that's enough to fill all of that research in. So then we'll be able to fly, and flying requires a lot of... Did I just really take an extra lot of coal? I didn't mean to do that. Flying requires a lot of extra power, but it is faster than walking. Believe it or not. And then after this, movement speed. So this requires motors. I don't believe we have the tech for motors yet. Yeah, so that's just blue science. That's fine. Grab that next. What else do I need? I guess I'll grab some more iron plates. And I'm just going to put the logs and plant stuff in here. You can't do a sphere, it's too complicated. Fair enough. I think considering how difficult it is to actually model a sphere, they've done a pretty good job. So we'll keep this titanium and silicon ore for later. Feeding the graphite in, that's fine. I guess we'll keep making more wind turbines as well. So where else am I going to want to grab stuff? I need the research that lets me look at veins from a planetary view, which is this one. So we can grab that pretty quickly. Yeah, I'll probably turbine the rest of this. And then we'll connect this back up. That one's not right. There we go. And then, is that more coal? Doesn't look like coal. I'm glad our mech comes with a light. I think very early on, when I first started playing it, the mech did not come with a light. And that was kind of annoying. But they added a lot of quality of life stuff like that very early on. Yeah, so now we can fly. So you do that by double tapping spacebar. And that uses 150% of the normal fuel. But we're generating a lot more energy a lot more efficiently now. So we should actually be able to fly a fair bit. That should speed all of this up. There we go. First flight. So the game has all these milestones that it keeps track of as well, and when you do them. So this game is actually quite a lot of fun to speed run if you actually know what you're doing, unlike me. The game has a lot of built-in stuff to help you speed run in a rewarding way. So yeah, now we can see the planet's veins distribution. So we can turn this on, and we can see all of the veins and the amount of resources in them from a distance. That's very handy. So we have a load of iron and a load of copper down here. This oceany bit. We have a crude oil seep over here. You need oil for the red science, which is the next one. Yeah, more iron over here as well. In terms of big chunks of land to build on, it's not really very convenient. I mean, this is a pretty big chunk of land. We'll want to find a big chunk of land to put all of our oil infrastructure on. And preferably one that runs along an equatorial band. This planet's covered in a lot of water. Which on the one hand is handy because you need water for certain things. But on the other hand, it means building space is kind of annoying. Let's have a look at the veins in the whole planetary system. And then we'll do the extra warp speed. We can make the motors now, so let's make 60 of those. So those require gears. It's fine. We'll make the gears as well. There we go. Just terraform it into a concrete wasteland. There is actually an achievement for covering a whole planet in concrete. And there's also an achievement for covering up a water world where it's just ocean. And I did, on one of my runs, cover a water world entirely in concrete. Which was very funny. It took ages. I had to get sand from, like, dozens of other planets just to actually make enough concrete to put on that planet. Which makes sense. But yeah, on top of actually making the foundations, you have to take sand from elsewhere on the map. So you have to flatten mountains and to cover oceans. And you get a fair amount of soil just from building stuff normally. But yeah, that took ages. Right, what did I just do? Right, so now we can actually see all the veins in the whole system. So you can see here, we've got iron, copper, stone, and coal on this planet. We don't have silicon and titanium veins. We do get random bits from mining random stones, but that's not super efficient. We do also have crude oil on this planet, and the solar power efficiency is 92%. The wind efficiency is 100%, so wind is more efficient than solar on this planet. And you also get all the orbital parameters like the axial tilt, etc. So then we have an ice giant here, and you can collect hydrogen and fire ice here. Yeah, so we're a habitable moon. You usually start as a habitable moon. I don't think I've started a game where I haven't started as a habitable moon. But let's have a look at the other planets as well, actually, while I get confused. So there's one more planet further in, which is a Gobi planet. So it's a desert that has low wind energy but high solar, and has loads of silicon ore on it. The axial tilt is not too bad. So, pretty good solar planet. And then this one here is a Scarlet Ice Lake planet. And this has more fire ice in it. Energy generation is quite low. And there's not a lot of coal on the planet, so we may have to ship fuel here to do stuff. And this is where all the titanium is. So it's not the easiest start in the world. The easiest start I've had is when all 3 planets were orbiting the gas giant and it was super quick to travel between them. But that's a very rare start. Have you created a full Dyson Sphere before? I have. I could show you that at the end of the stream actually if it loads. I'm not sure it's going to load because that's from an old game version. Yeah, we've unlocked the faster walking now. We can walk faster. Can you ship power? Yeah, what we would do is we would ship coal via logistics drones and stuff. Or something. And then we'd power thermal power plants off of that. That's how that would work. Yeah, let's keep doing more research. I want to unlock as many of these upgrades as I can before I start doing anything else. Let's see. Blueprints, probably a good idea. Let's grab some more circuit boards for that. Seems good. And then I should actually start making foundations as well. But you can't actually benefit from a dedicated solar power planet. You can. You can charge accumulators with it and then ship those accumulators and discharge them on other planets. So we could do that. That's a bit more high tech. But that is definitely an option. So what do I want? I want steel. So let's see. Where do I want to put this foundation thing? I don't want to run anything off these iron veins other than blue science because there's not a lot of resources in them. I can grab iron from over here for steel. Is there a limit to the number of Dyson Sphere programs you can make? Dyson Spheres you can make? There isn't. You can put them around every star. There's 64 stars in this cluster. And you can put multiple Dyson Spheres around each star. And I think it depends on how big the star is, like how far the orbits can go out. But you can have like 10 Dyson Spheres around a star at different latitudes. For some reason, they don't actually block each other at the moment. So it feels like a bit of an exploit that you can do that. I wonder whether they will change that. I feel like it's an intentional decision by the devs at the moment that you can do it that way. Let's make some more wind turbines. But yeah, once I hook up these irons, we'll make some proper, like, building factories here. And then we'll make steel foundations, conveyor belts, all those sorts of things pretty quickly. In the meantime, we'll put some of these down. And in the meantime, I'll actually grab all of this stone, because there's more silicon and titanium that we can grab doing this. You don't grab it through the big mining. Here we go. Hello, Fatex24. Hope you're doing well. I like laying out the wind turbines this way. A, it looks pretty, and B, it means I can cover all of the buildings inside. There's these little gaps here, but they don't tend to actually cause any issues, like when I'm placing stuff. I think there was a single time where I placed something in the gap between wind turbines. But we'll Tesla Tower this bit. And then let's see. 6 off there. I'm gonna fit another one in here. I could do it like this. Can I actually get the belt out of here though? I might struggle with that. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's one of those moments where a diagonal belt is very handy. Right, so that goes like this. And then we'll grab some of this stone here. So, oh, I need to actually research foundations as well. That's an environment modification. Let's do that. And then we can start paving over some of this water, which I think we'll need to do at some point. I'm going to stop grabbing trees. I don't think we need trees anymore. But yeah, the one guy I've seen play this a lot on Twitch is Quill18, who you've probably all heard of. He does play this occasionally at the moment as well. But yeah, it does strike me as odd that there's not too many people playing this, because it's quite a pretty game, and I feel like there's still a lot of exploration to be done in terms of like how to do things really efficiently. They're constantly adding more stuff to the game. We'll put a Tesla Tower here. Right, so mining machine. Let's see. I'll grab all of these. Yeah, that'll do. So that'll be 360 stone. How is the science going? So the other thing I like about the game is you can track the stats of what you're producing really easily. So if I set this to 1 minute, I can see I've been producing 170 blue cubes per minute, and we were trying to get 180. So I think what's actually happening is they've stacked up here. So we're researching them as fast as we can with the matrix labs. So production's backing up, which is fine. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the combat update. Gonna be all over that. So yeah, steel, it basically turns 60 iron plates per minute into 20 steel per minute. So with 360 iron per minute, we'll get 120 steel per minute. We'll need 6 smelters for this. So where am I going to put those? I want to have them come out over here, so let's see. Like that. And then that can come down here. And go like that. Steel can go in here. So you see what I mean about this getting quicker as you get more tech. The waiting around does decrease, like, fairly early on. Decrease even more once we have an actual belt factory. But let's do the foundations first. Then we'll put a little storage bin over here as well, because we'll want to just store some steel. Some buildings require steel. Oh wait, I'm a fool. We need the iron plates first. So let's actually remove that. We'll send this down here. Then we'll make another 6 of these. We're gonna grab some more plates first. The music does occasionally just stop, which is annoying. I hadn't noticed that being an issue before. Maybe the game just likes to be quiet occasionally, because that didn't fix it. I'm just being impatient. You should wait for my music. Right, so let's see. Want another 6 of these. That's fine. So these will take 60 each. I'm probably just going to use 2 sorters. I'll just make a load of sorters for this. That's fine. Then these could be the iron plates. Then, yeah, 2 each. And then we'll pull the plate down here. But I think the game does a pretty good job of making what you're doing feel significant as well. Like, it's always nice even going through like the first bits of the game, just getting your first things up and running. Feels satisfying. And that, I found that satisfaction goes pretty much right the way to the end. Yeah, now I've got the iron plates. They're going into the steel. That's going to produce all the steel. So that needs to be 5. Then if we're actually going to make the foundations, so those are over here. They need 1 steel, 3 stone. So we'll want 360 stone per minute, so we'll want 6 stone smelters. So we'll put those here. Then those can just need more belts. I should have made the belt factory first. Realistically, that's what I should have done. But I'm having fun doing this, so whatever. What else do we want to research? We could grab the level 2 logistics stuff as well. You get drones, watching them zip about is super satisfying. Oh, I know, like, you obviously start with your construction drones, but pretty early on you can get logistics drones now that fly between storages as well. I did play with that update, and that was really fun. So I'm looking forward to that lot. There we go. And then you can be stone. And we'll leave this running permanently, just so that if we ever need loads of foundations, we can come back and have like hours and hours worth of foundations. You could never have too many foundations. I learned that the hard way when we were doing that water world ages ago. Yeah, I kind of felt bad that I was playing this a lot and I wasn't streaming it. But I think I fixed some of the performance issues now, so hopefully it will run better. Also, I'm getting my new internet in a couple of weeks on April 4th, so hopefully that will help with the game too. Right, so we have the stone coming out of here. You know what? I'm going to move these all one down. Hold on. Actually, here's an idea. Let's get the extra inventory space first. That's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to make steel first. There you go. Now everyone getting new internet. Yeah, no, Max said they were getting new internet too. Yeah, no, I need it for working from home. That is a thing. Alright, I'm actually really out of space in here. Let's see. That's fine. Put more stone blocks in here in a minute. You know what? Just dump it on the ground. There you go. We'll pick it up in a minute. Really out of smelters again. Yeah. There we go. What I'll do is I'll reverse this. I'll put the steel storage here. There we go. Steel's in there. Good. And then we make these with assemblers. So each of those will make 45 foundations a second. We'll need 3 of those. Yeah, and they won't quite be running at full capacity. Okay. Yay, more inventory room. Woo. Let's go grab some more fuel. There we go. Alright, so now these, I'm just going to put them here. Then we'll take the stone, we'll bring it down here. We want this to run right by the machine because each of these is going to be using 135. Yes, they are. So we'll need 2 of these each. Make a load more of these. And then the steel is going in here. So... more belts. We need to grab some more iron plates. Yeah, I'm so glad we've got flight now and a proper fuel source. Now we can actually fly around the map properly like we normally can. It is quite annoying when you can't do that at first. Coming back from previously playing it. Right, let's actually move this over here. Do-do. Okay. Stone can stay there. This can go up here. What I'll do is I'll actually move this one lower because it only requires 45 steel per minute, so we can use one of these. And then we'll take the foundations out from this bottom layer. Like this. And we'll have some actual foundations. And I'm just going to fill this up forever. Or to the very max, and I'm actually going to put some more of these on top. Yeah, there we go. Because you can stack the storages vertically and get even more space. So that should start making foundations in a minute. What else do I want to research? Why not? More blueprint capacity. We do need the red science for most of these things now. So I guess once we've made a conveyor belt factory and maybe a wind turbine factory, we'll start doing the next science, which is oil. And I guess we'll grab all the oil stuff as well. Yeah, that should do for now. So, yeah. The next one is conveyor belts. So, I'm going to use the website again. So, what I'll do now is I'll put in conveyor belts. And I want to make 360 of these per minute. Is that a reasonable amount? Yeah. So, one conveyor belt full of iron ore can make 360 conveyor belts per minute. We need 3 assembly machines for gears, 3 for the conveyor belts, and 6 iron smelters. That sounds good. But yeah, I would highly recommend this website if your brain can't handle everything. It is very nice being able to compartmentalize that like that. So let's see. I could probably actually just fit this over here. And again, I'll get some separate lines for this. Why is this not running? Oh, this isn't actually connected. The belt looks like it's connected, but it's not. Well, there you go. Nope. There you go. Alright, good. So let's get another 12. Probably do it like... This main is much larger, so I'm not concerned about mining it like this. Then can I fit this here anyway? I need to make another mining machine, that makes sense. Can I make a few of these now, surely? Yeah. Good. Now, I'm probably going to leave all the oil stuff until next time, but I just want to make some building production factories today so that we're not constantly stopping and crafting buildings before we're doing stuff. Because the oil science requires a lot of refineries and laying belts out in very specific ways. It's probably going to be where we use the blueprinting tool for the first time. Also, why am I grabbing the trees? I don't need the trees. Not anymore. We moved past trees. It's official. I'll do. So now this can go up here. Then we'll need 6 more smelters. Go like this. Again, I'll leave this to produce infinitely because I'm probably never gonna not want conveyor belts. Actually, no, we'll set this one to 5. It's just the foundations where you might end up dropping like a couple 100,000 of them at once. Conveyor belts are a little bit less like that. And then we'll need to fit the assembly machines somewhere. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, so we need 6 of these. And then we'll actually be able to pick up gears on demand as well, which will be nice. Also, how are the fish doing? I can't do both these at once. How are the fish doing? Fishies are doing alright with the nice sort of fishy theme music. This is the fishy theme song, it's official. Yeah. Quite a few of the females are pregnant at the moment, so I'm expecting a lot of babies, and it'll be interesting to see whether Whiskers gobbles them all up or not. Then... oh, don't knock over the mic. Then I swapped the sick fish in that tank as well for a different one. But the frogs are doing okay. Also, I'm not sure why the honk didn't redeem. That's unfortunate. Let me try honking. There we go. I'm beginning to think perhaps I didn't have that enabled on the FaceTime mode, which is sad. Oh well. We'll only survive seconds. Thank you. Thank you, Leah, for the vote of confidence. Yeah, there's a few more of these techs we can grab. Obviously, we want the red science tech. We don't need graphene yet, but we may as well queue it up. Solar power. I'll queue this as well. I might as well just queue all the stuff that only takes blue science, because like, we'll want it all at some point. And we're producing enough of it that we can just do this. Yeah, just grab all of this. We'll want the proliferator as well to make more efficient fuels. I think that's about it. How many offspring do they produce? Well, when the platies give birth, they give birth live, and it's usually like a few at a time. I've not seen them do it yet. They do it in private. Where am I going to put these? I could put 3 here. Maybe. Yeah, I can put 3 here. So what I'll do is... let's see. I'll actually reverse these. So this can come down here. Then the plates can go up here. But yeah, I have seen the babies swimming around the tank a little bit. Not recently, because the fish haven't been pregnant recently. That needs to be moved slightly. But occasionally they do survive. I do have a fully grown adult in the tank that survived. And I've had them survive before as well. Sometimes they've ended up surviving in the filter. With me not noticing until I clean the filter. That doesn't happen very often. But it does occasionally happen. Right. Let's see. Yeah, we can do it like this. Yeah, so the fish lives its lives the start of its life in darkness, but in peace because they're not being harassed by Whiskers. So we want ears here. We want a Tesla tower here. Not a Kesla tower. A Tesla tower. Actually, that's a good point. How many of you know my real surname? I'm guessing most of you now that I've said it. But I can't remember whether I've ever mentioned it on stream before. There we go. So now we've got gears. So gears can go in here. We're producing 45 per minute, so let's store those up as well. And then we can stop having to make those. And we won't have to make those so often. And then the rest of the iron, we'll continue using this iron. And we'll loop it round to these ones. And what I'll do is I'll put them here. And this will be the actual belt factories. There is an achievement for completing the game without placing a single foundation, but I'm not going for that one because that's going to annoy me too much. We're gonna use foundations. Oh, we're out of belts. How ironic. He runs out of belts building the belt factory. I mean, I guess it's not ironic at all. It's just the expected outcome of us not having belts. Also, let's actually grab these. Why aren't these producing now? Oh, I need to change the... I need to flip these. So I didn't need to do that. Give me a minute. There we go. And then these could be the iron plates. Oh, and I need to remove these iron plates from the belt. Yeah, that's the other thing I need to do. Well, I mean, I meant to pick them up, but we ran out of space for that. Let's see. Move these. And can I pick these up? No. I am running out of space. Let's queue up a load of coils. No, let's queue up a load of hoses. Not quite enough room. There we go. I'm sure we'll use the motors at some point. So now we have gears going in here. We have the plates coming out here. That's fine. Then the rest of these plates can come in here. And then the gears can come around like this. So what I'll actually want to do is move this one layer out again. And then can I put a storage here? This is where we'll have the conveyor belt storage. So that will go here. Then each of these will consume 45. So I can do these like this. We're running out of power. Yeah, we're currently overloading slightly. You finally worked your Shinebug prison, such a chore. How are my Conquer? Our Conquer is good. Our Conquer is strong. We are making conveyor belts. Also, I shouldn't have queued all these up. We'll make some space in a minute. Okay, actually, we can just do this. That's fine. Then refill this. Quite enough. Yeah, fit these in here. And then these, let's see. Yeah, so they will produce 135 conveyor belts per minute from each of these. So we'll put 2 of these here. Then those can hook up here. And then I'll stop this at 10. That seems good. You know what? I don't need the plant matter. There you go. Drop those there. Pick up the iron plates. Wherever they are. Remove those. Okay, there we go. So now we're making conveyor belts as well. And they're ending up in here. That's good. So, making gears, we're making conveyor belts. It's all good. So now I need to make some more wind turbines. So that's something else I should do today, is a wind turbine factory. Where am I going to put the rest of these as well? Probably extend them up here past the coal. Yeah. I'll make some more of these now. In fact, let's go grab some gears as well. And then we can make those a bit more efficiently. Yeah. So now I can make a load of these. Where's the next bit that we want to go to? We obviously want to go to the crude oil seep. So let's just keep building wind turbines over this whole area leading up to that. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to get all the infrastructure, like the production lines for the basic buildings I make a lot of, done. And then on Thursday, when we come back to this game, we'll make all the oil infrastructure for the science. So this up here is the boundary for the equatorial zone. So obviously, if I keep trying to repeat this pattern, it's not going to really work up there. So we'll stop at that level. Yeah, and here's the oil seep. So oil is produced a bit differently to other resources in this game. You extract a variable rate of oil. There's no fixed deposit number, but the more you extract, the more the production rate slows down. So when you set up your oil stuff, you want to set it up with like quite a buffer, so that your production doesn't slowly dwindle to a halt. Because when you're mining from nodes, you'll mine it all out at a good rate for a while, and then it'll suddenly stop. But the oil, it's very gradual. Also, is that really all the research done? I guess it's all that we need for now. I don't think there's anything else that doesn't require red science. Like pressure slowly diminishing makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. You don't pump oil in. You don't pump water into oil wells like you do in Oni, though. You just use some kind of plasma levitation to get it out or something. Yeah, we're just putting turbines here. How much power generation are we up to? We're up to about 40 megawatts. Power magnitude in this game is weird. Like, you would expect a Dyson Sphere to produce a huge amount of power. But, I mean, it is a lot of power, but it's not like a ridiculous amount. Like, it's somewhere in the region of, like, gigawatts. Terawatts. Whereas in real life, like real life power stations have like are rated in terms of gigawatts. Like a Dyson Sphere program would be like orders of magnitude above that. A single Dyson Sphere program. I keep saying Dyson Sphere program instead of Dyson Sphere. A single Dyson Sphere would do that. A whole Dyson Sphere program would generate even more power. Is there anything else along here? I mean, not really. I'm thinking the actual oil buildings, I'll probably do them along here. It seems like a good strip to do them, and we're right next to a seep. And there's coal for graphite production, which might be relevant too. That's good. But yeah, the UI makes a lot more sense now that where it is on the screen. Like when I was in the main menu, it didn't really make a lot of sense, but I laid it out like this for the main view. So to make wind turbines, you need plates, gears, and the magnet coils. So I want to set this up where we have some proper copper as well. So I'm thinking down here. Let's put the wind turbine factory down here. Because we're going to keep coming back to that. Also, actually, you know what the first thing I'm going to do is? I'm going to proliferate this. So what we've done is we've unlocked proliferator liquid, which is made out of coal, and you spray it on machines to speed it up or produce more products. And you can... What we'll do is we'll spray the fuel, A, so that it produces itself more quickly, and B, so that it burns in our fuel chamber more quickly, so we'll generate more power from it. So we'll take another lot of coal. Like, I think 180 will do. I haven't done the exact maths. You can... That calculator that I showed you earlier, that can do the maths for how much coal you need for proliferator. I'll just put it over here. What I'll do is I'll just belt this round. And then... probably down here. Need some more iron. Okay. Make some more of these. There you go. So proliferator, you make 120 per minute, but again, it slows down by 75% because of the assembling machine Mark 1. So this will make 90 per minute, so we'll need 2. Yeah, that's good. And then power-wise, here. So that gives the proliferator. And I don't think we need a storage bin for that. But what I'll do is... I won't bother spraying it on the coal, because we've got plenty of coal here, but I will spray it on all the graphites. So what we'll do then is we'll bring this down here. We'll put a spray coater on. To make these, you need... Actually, to make spray coaters, you need microcrystalline components. You make those out of silicon. And you don't start with any silicon on your main planet, so you're only going to get it from mining rocks. So this is one reason why mining rocks is important. It's like the little rocks you find at the start. So... yeah, here's a spray coater. So you put this on like, I don't know, like this. Comes out the other end. And then we'll layer this up. Actually, I guess we'll move that a little bit. Hold on. But yeah, you are limiting the amount of these you can build at the start. Pressing the wrong buttons again. Yeah, so that conveyor goes in... Really? Here. Yeah, there you go. So then that will fill up this little tank with the little proliferator. And then that will spray every graphite that comes through here. So I'll put the proliferated graphite in here. And then we'll put another turbine here. There we go. So now you'll notice that the graphite has this little arrow mark on it. And eventually the arrow mark will appear here as well. If I split it in half. It's kind of interesting how it considers the graphite, whether it's proliferated or not. But yeah, to show you. So we've got some regular graphite in here. So that holds 6.75 megajoules of energy in it. And it generates energy in the chamber 50% faster. Like the rate is increased as well. And the proliferated graphite both has more capacity, so it has the 12.5% extra capacity. And it generates an extra multiplicative 12.5% power. So it's now generating 168.75% instead of 150%. Does that make sense? So proliferating your fuel is really worth it because it'll last longer and it will burn faster. So this is definitely the first thing you want to use the proliferator for. And we'll put the rest of the graphite back in here because we mostly actually just want to fuel ourselves off proliferated stuff for the aforementioned reasons. I just did the thing again, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. So that's something good to do. And then the Proliferator Mark II is actually made with... Hold on. Where is it? Here. It's made with diamonds, which you also make from coal. And this is even better. So then the third one requires carbon nanotubes. But yeah, they're really good at making your fuel last longer. So next up, we probably want the wind turbine factory. So let's again have a look at our little program. So we don't need to make a huge amount of wind turbines per minute, just enough to actually do stuff with. So let's set it to like 30 per minute. That'll do. So that's going to take 300 iron ore. Let's make it 36. 36 per minute. So that's going to take... Yeah, that's going to take 360 iron ore and 54 copper. We'll need 5 smelters for the iron ingots, 3 for the magnets, and then 1 for the copper. Okay. Yeah, so I would like to get this done. So that is going to go over here. So we did make a load of wind turbines. Let's make even more. We'll keep going on these. More iron plates. So one thing I've noticed about this game is you tend to get to points where you've done all the research you can do, and you need to build the infrastructure for the next lot of research. And then you end up doing a lot of building. I think the key to speedrunning this game is to fit all of your infrastructure building for the next science while you're researching everything. But that kind of breaks my brain, so we ain't doing that. Right, so this is all on the level below the equatorial level. So this is going to be on its own separate sort of spacing. Except we can have the wind turbines go down here. Nah, I'm already getting confused. So any equatorial copper, it's not these tiny deposits. Not really. It's all... Yeah, we're going to have to grab copper from there, I think. So what I'll do is start it here. And then we'll continue a new grid at this level. Let's see, that can go here. All the way over to the copper. So I could probably fit the whole wind turbine factory in this little bit here. So we only need a little bit of copper. Let's grab... I still want to grab 180 if I can. Guess I'll do it like this. Okay. So then I need just one smelter for this. We don't need a lot of copper for this. Then we need 5 iron smelters. We need 5 iron smelters for the bars, and then we need another 3 for the magnets. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So that's 6 there. Put another one here. Nah, it's gonna collide. I think at that point it's colliding with the wind turbine. There's another 6. So then 8 iron smelters. It's not going to fit in there. Maybe put the iron smelters up here. It annoys me how the grids don't match up down here, but whatever. Remove that. Actually, no, I could have left it there. Yeah, I'll put that there. We've got 2 lots in each of these. So this is going to be slightly more than 2 belts worth of iron for this. Oh no, it is going to be 1 belt's worth of iron. Yeah, no, that's why I did the calculation. It is going to be 1 belt's worth of iron. Hold on, what's this? No, what am I doing? Just put it here. There we go. That'll do. You know, we're really close to fitting 6 smelters down here. No, that's fine. We'll put 5 here, and then we'll put 3 here. And then these will be the magnets. Let's do that a bit smarter. Just trying to think about the best way to lay this out. I think what I'll do is I'll have it go down here. It's a way of doing it. Yeah. No, instead of doing that, send all that stuff up the other way. So that can go... Yes, hold on. Wait. Make some more sorters. Sorters are really easy to make to the point where I might just make them manually because we'll have iron plates and circuit boards with us a lot of the time. Probably don't need a sorter factory, at least not immediately. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's actually put this here. And then this can go down like this. And this can make magnets. So then we'll have the copper plates, which can come out like this. Hold on. Let me cook. I can come out like that. So the copper plate comes out down here. The magnets come down here. And then the iron plates come out here. And then we've got all three resources where we want them. Yeah. So we don't actually have the achievement for not using foundations in a run. I think I might leave that up to chat, because we haven't used any yet. We have a big factory making them, but we probably could avoid making them. It would just be kind of fiddly on this planet. We'd have to find planets that don't have oceans to build on. I mean, our desert planet over here obviously doesn't have any oceans. The Scarlet Ice Lake, you can build on the ice. So, actually, I don't think you can build on the ice. Yeah, so this is going to cause some issues as well. This whole planet is going to be a pain. What we'll probably do, there's fire ice on this planet. We'll probably produce hydrogen from that and use the hydrogen to power everything, instead of shipping fuel. Yeah, I'll have a think. Have a think about that. So now we've got magnets, copper, and iron. Then we just need to make gears. So we need 1.2. We need 2 assembly machines for the magnetic coils. We need 1 for the gears, and then 4 for the turbines. We need 7 assembly machines. So we have 7 of those. Ah, look. This is right where the this is right where the overlap thing is with the equatorial bit. You know what I'm going to do? We'll just put the turbines up here and we'll continue it in the equatorial zone. Otherwise it's going to really annoy me. Hello, Mr. Vlad. You can build on the ice, no foundations needed. Oh, okay, that's good. That's a misleading tooltip then. I think I did actually land on a Scarlet Ice Lake planet once and it was okay. But I think they've changed them since I last played the game. So, I don't know. But yeah, you can see where we're moving from the equatorial zone to the non-equatorial zone because the belts all come a bit close together. It's funny. Right, we've run out of belts. You know what this means? We can actually go to our conveyor belt factory. How very useful. And we can grab some more graphite on the way. Yeah, belts. We've got enough graphite for now. We'll be fine. Our drones are trying to follow us. We're moving too fast. Well, there's some graphite. do. It's going to be a bit annoying having to come over here each time we want to build wind turbines, but whatever. Belts. We have 1,800 belts. We did it. So then, let's just put 7 assembly machines over here, and we'll figure out how to hook them all up together. So we need 1 for gears, 2 for magnetic coils, and then 4 for the wind turbines. Yeah, try and keep them more than one place. That is very sensible. That does make sense. I'm still umming and ahhing about whether I'm going to do the foundations, the no foundations challenge or not. So I'm currently not building any foundations. I'll see what people think about that. Because I would like to get that achievement. I'm not sure whether I want to get it on stream. Usually one assembler is enough for all buildings so they can share inputs. Yeah, I mean, I probably don't need to make 36 wind turbines per minute, realistically. You probably could just put a little bit in each of them and hook them up, and it would generally be enough. So the gears can just come out of this one. And then this one is for magnetic coils. So let's see. So we'll put the magnets on the inside and the... Is this one finished? I didn't connect that properly. So we'll lower that down 1. Get rid of that copper ore. Get rid of all this ore. We don't need this ore here. Yeah, this is probably overkill for what we need to do. I just want to see if I can do this. So let's see. So we can use one of these because that'll be 90. And then it'll be the same for this. And then those can come out the other end. Then we need the rest of the iron plates to come this way. And then these will be the wind turbines. But yeah, most of the buildings, like when I automate the smelters and that sort of thing, I will just make a general wall where I just have a few conveyor belts of things and we just plug the respective assembly buildings in and they'll generally make enough. I'm just imagining there's probably going to be a point where I want to make like 1,000 wind turbines at once. And it might be handy to have the production now. Right, so these are mostly the iron. So what I should actually do is I should move this belt out here. So that can go there. That will consume 100... Hold on. That's 80 per minute iron. Yeah, can you imagine placing 1,000 wind turbines? I think it would only be if you're trying to cover like a whole planet. I did this with solar panels, and that was a lot more useful when I had a tidally locked planet, and I was just like making reams and reams of solar panels, but it probably wasn't necessary even then, but to be honest, it's fun. I enjoy doing it. You never had more than 180 megawatts of wind power. Got about 60 at the moment. There was one run where I had an arid planet and we built a massive manufacturing complex on that. So I had wind turbines in a lot of places for that. So let's see. This is going to produce 45, so that's fine like this. So then this conveyor can go here, and then the wind turbines can come out on this one. So they can come out like this. And then we'll feed that. Yeah, one should be enough. In terms of iron, yeah, we worked out one will be enough, and then one will be enough of these. And then oh wait, no. Hold on. Why aren't these taking in the magnetic coils? Oh, they're currently taking in the magnets. Ah, that's what we've done wrong. Okay. Alright. So these are going to produce 90 magnetic coils each. You don't need the gears. No, we do need the gears. We need the gears, the iron plates. Just need another belt here that we're going to move down here. Let's see. An output between assemblers. Oh, so you can transfer it like that. But then what if I put something like that? Will that take the... No, that won't take the rings through here. That's interesting. Yeah, I've chained the generators before, like you're saying. This is what I get for trying to put all these belts too close to each other. Yeah, I can just move this copper a bit further out. And you know what? I'm going to use some of these green sorters just because it's so far away and we've got a couple of them. It's fine. So then this can go here. And then that will be that'll be those. So we'll use a green sorter for those too. It's fine. It's all wonky. I have a wonky sorter. There we go. Well, that looks a bit wonky. Now I just need to get the magnets off of this line. Okay, and that should work. Produce the wind turbines. So then I can just put those... Let's put those here. Destroy the tree. Then they can just go in here. And... how many of these am I really going to want to have at once? Just make 5 in there for now. So that's going to fill up with wind turbines fairly quickly, and then we can cover the rest of the map if we need to. Let's actually see if this is making the wind turbines at the rate I want them to, which is 36 per minute. Yeah, it's getting there. It's going to go a little bit over while it's using up the stockpiles of resources it picked up. You found someone who likes wind more than I do. Yeah, probably. I do like the wind turbines. I think they're quite pretty. There's a bit of a holdover from Surviving Mars as well. That was a fun game. I should play that again on stream sometime. Again, now that people are actually watching me. I streamed that back in 2019 before I really started. When I had some time in the Easter holidays. And that was before I had any setup or a proper computer. But that's a fun game. Yeah, like soon we're going to get rid of the stockpile of iron plates and it's going to take a bit longer. But yeah, lots of wind turbines. So what else do I want to do now before we start oil? Because I'm going to start oil next stream. Is there anything else I wanted to automate now? I need the oil to actually get the research with diamonds, don't I? Yes. So we're not going to get Proliferator Mark II just yet. We can start the oil stuff. I don't know, it's going to be a big build. I might even wrap it up at 10, because I did start at 7, and then we'll leave it for another day. I'll play some more wind turbines for now, and then I'll go find something to raid. Because I do actually need to get up early tomorrow for work, so it would be pragmatic for me to finish at a reasonable time. What I'll do actually is I'll keep building wind turbines to some more oil seeps. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. So let's see. We've got an oil seep here. There's another one over here. Another one over here. There's lots around here. So let's just keep wrapping around the map this way and putting wind turbines now. And then later on we'll end up using all this energy, so we may as well do it now. And just pave over nature. I would really like them to add a forestry building that lets you grow more trees. Like, even if it's not more efficient, like, you could use it to make the old recipe of organic crystals. And you could balance it so it was really slow. I just want the option to replace forests. I always feel guilty. Especially if you're on, like, an oceanic jungle planet and it's all pretty, like Avatar. You're just paving it down for oil. Like, at least paving stuff down for wind turbines feels a little nicer. Not much nicer. Yeah, now let's go get some wind turbines. Also, if I wrap up at 10, this gives me time to actually make the thumbnail tonight, which, you know, would be a good idea. I could probably drag these out. If I'm near the equator, I can actually drag these out by increasing the spacing a little bit. So you have to press it 3 times and then it'll do it. 3? No. 1, 2. There we go. Now we can drag this out. That'll be a little bit faster. Now that we've actually got the production to keep up with this. Yeah, let's see how many megawatts we can get to before 10 o'clock. Also, who am I going to raid for this game? I don't know anyone who really plays it, other than Filatino. I'm not sure I'm going to raid Filatino. I don't think he's even on. I don't know, I haven't checked. I do like watching him. He's pretty much the only guy I know who plays this. I was watching a Roomba, and he played that for a while. He likes to play it with mods. Like, a lot of the interface stuff doesn't sit well with him, so he does it with mods. I'm not going to play this game with mods because it's early access. I've seen some real shenanigans with mods ruining people's saves. Yeah, this is a nice respectable field of wind turbines. Also, we're using up all this power just running the drones between all these wind turbines. We could go raid an Oni stream. Yeah, we're out of power. We can't fly. We're out of power. We're up to about... oh, this isn't even connected to the other part yet. I forgot to do that. Let's connect this all up. Probably got drones flying to me from all different parts of the map. But yeah, it seems like people are interested in watching this as well, which is nice. I mean, I guess it is a factory game somewhat similar to Oni, so that does make sense. But yeah, as these drones all flatten the ground, I'm getting soil piles, and I can use these to build foundations later to level out the oceans. And it's generally enough if you're only flattening over little bits. If you're trying to flatten over a huge section of ocean, you're going to need to actually flatten out some hills properly. Right, we got 106 megawatts. Nice. Yeah, we're still out of power. Let's get back to the main base. What's actually sucking down all the power at the moment? It is just us moving. Okay, that's fine. Now we got another 250 wind turbines waiting for us. That's good. Once we get the oil, we can make wireless power towers, so we can charge up from the wind turbines. That would be charge the mech from the wind turbines. That'd be really useful. Right. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Where should I go? I guess I'll take a screenshot from the landing pod. Turn around a little bit. Yeah, there we go. You like wind turbines? Yeah, I think we made some good progress today. Yeah, we've really just covered this planet with wind turbines. Like, this is pretty much the only spot where we've not got wind turbines. And we've even got some in the middle here. Cool. Right. I'm going to wrap this up. New save file. I guess we're going to name this Stream Derps number 2. Stream Derps again. And yeah, I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. It's been really pleasant. If you've stuck around from Max's raid, thank you for sticking around. And checking out Dyson Sphere Program. Factories, space, 3D. Quite fun. Glad you're interested in its silly device. But yeah, I'm going to go find someone to raid. I usually stream Mondays to Fridays, 7:30 to 10:30-ish GMT. Might be a little bit earlier, might be a little bit later. We usually play Oxygen Not Included, but this will be a regular thing on Tuesdays and Thursdays as we see how far we can get while having good computer performance, I suppose. But yeah, if you miss an episode, I put everything on YouTube. you can find all of my VODs for Oni and eventually this game on there. And the best way of knowing for certain when I'm going to stream and what I'm going to stream is either follow me on Twitch, and you'll get a notification when I go live, or you can join the Discord group where we all talk about games, mostly Oxygen not included. But I imagine people have posted Dyson Sphere Program stuff in there as well, and I imagine now that I'm playing it again, people will share more stuff in there. So that's a pretty good place to hang out as well. But yes, I'm gonna go raid someone. Let me go find someone maybe who's playing this game, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye for now. You know what? I'm going to go raid Two Legit City again. He's playing Oxygen Not Included. I believe he's currently doing minus, like, 100k challenge. So he's doing a super cold map in Oxygen Not Included. So, yeah, we'll go have a look at what he's doing. And we were talking to him about Dyson Sphere Program, and he seemed interested in that too. So I'm going to send you over to him in, like, 10 seconds. Alrighty, if you've got any fishy emotes, get them ready. We're gonna go raid Two Legit City in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay fishy.